You open your browser, type google.com, hit enter, and the page just loads fast, like it knew exactly where to go. But here's the thing, it didn't. Your browser had no idea where Google actually lives on the internet. All it had was a name, no address, no directions, nothing. So how does it get there in under a second? That's the question DNS answers. DNS stands for Domain Name System. The classic explanation is that it's the internet's phone book, and honestly, that's not wrong. You give it a name, it gives you back a number, except instead of phone numbers, we're talking IP addresses. Think about it this way. Every device on the internet has an IP address. Google's servers sit at something like this, IP. Nobody types that. Nobody remembers that. That's the whole point of DNS. It lets you type google.com like a human being and quietly handles the translation in the background. Without it, the web as we know it simply wouldn't work. So how does the DNS lookup actually happen? Before any network traffic goes out, your computer works through a checklist, and it always starts local. First stop is the browser's own DNS cache. In Chrome, you can see it live right now at this address. Every domain your browser has resolved recently is sitting there with its IP and how long until it expires. If the answer is here, Chrome never leaves your machine. If it's not in the browser cache, the next stop is the hosts file. On Windows, you'll find it here. On Linux and macOS, it's right here. Same idea on both, just a plain text file where you manually map host names to IP addresses. One line is all it takes, and this file always wins. If you put google.com pointing to 127.0.0.1 in there, your browser will never reach Google. Doesn't matter what DNS says. After the hosts file, Windows checks its own DNS cache, the one the operating system has been quietly building in the background. You can see what's in it by running this command in command prompt. This is separate from Chrome's cache. If something is stuck here, this command clears it out. Only after all three of those come up empty does your computer finally send a request out to the network, to your ISP's DNS server, or whichever one you've configured, like Cloudflare or Google. But here's where it gets interesting. If that server, technically called the recursive resolver, doesn't already have the answer cached, it starts asking around. First, the root servers, which point it to the right top-level domain, like .com. Then the top-level domain servers, which point it to the authoritative name server. And finally, that authoritative server, the final source of truth, responds with the actual IP address. The recursive resolver then sprints back to your computer with the answer, while also saving a copy for itself, so it doesn't have to do all that work next time. Now your computer finally knows where to go, but it still hasn't actually reached the website yet. From here, your request starts traveling through a chain of routers. Each one looks at the destination IP and forwards the packet closer and closer to the target server. No more domain names, no more DNS, just raw IP routing across the internet until it reaches the server that owns that address. And once it gets there, the server responds. And the page finally loads. And that's DNS.